Evergreen Pilato PRTV. We will rise again, build again, stand strong, so high, like an eagle. Let us put our past behind us. Let's embrace restoration.
The beautiful people of Central Zone of Plateau, Mangu, Panshin, Kanke, Kanam, and Bokas.
Now let's go up to the northern zone.
Barrington Lord, Riam, just east and just south. Bassa, down to Chestnut.
I am a mulatto, my beautiful plateau. Evergreen Pilato, we are. Build the plateau of my dreams. I am a mulatto, oh, let my beauty abroad. Evergreen Pilato, we are. Build the plateau of my dreams. I am a mulatto, oh, let my beauty abroad.
Our culture is our identity. PRTV, committed to you.
Our future bright and sure, through the eyes of love, we see it all. Hand in hand as we go, put out the fire of hate across the land and give birth to a plateau. Give birth to a plateau that we all can be proud of. I believe in Plateau. Oh, I believe in Plateau. I live in her. Plateau is my heritage, still my heritage. Plateau will rise again.
Good afternoon and thanks for joining us on News Track, reaching you live from RFE facility. My name is Yaksat Maklek. Nigeria and the European Union have reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening broad-based cooperation in areas including when the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Dunoma Ahmed, received the European Union Ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Mr. Gautier Mignot, for talks aimed at deepening bilateral relations. And Ambassador Ahmed described the European Union as a critical development partner and expressed satisfaction with the positive trajectory of relations. He reiterated the federal government's commitment to economic diversification with a focus on agriculture, the digital economy, climate smart development, and innovation. He also highlighted Nigeria's leadership role in promoting regional peace and security, particularly in West Africa, and welcomed continued European Union cooperation in counter-terrorism, maritime security in the Gulf of Guinea, and post-conflict resolve on climate change and migration. Ambassador Ahmed called for increased European Union support for climate adaptation, energy transition, access to climate finance, green technology transfer, and humane cooperative migration frameworks with an emphasis on youth empowerment. In his remarks, Ambassador Mignot commended the strong alignment between Nigeria's priorities and European Union's objectives, describing the 2026 as a pivotal year for expanding cooperation. He announced plans for a proposed Nigeria-European Union ministerial meeting scheduled to hold in Abuja in March 2026 and highlighted the European Union's global gateway strategy, which supports investment in infrastructure, digital connectivity, clean energy, agriculture, and youth-focused programs. Both sides reaffirmed their commitment to multilateralism, the rule of law, and sustained dialogue, expressing confidence in the continued strengthening of Nigeria-European Union relations. Senator representing Plateau Central in the National Assembly, Ticket Plang, has dismissed recent social media misinformation claiming he has not done anything tangible in his constituency. The senator debunked the fake news while addressing journalists at his residence in Rayfield, Jos. Correspondent Simon Swatke has details as presented in our studio.
In an interview with journalists at his residence in Rayfield, Jos, Senator Ticket Plang highlighted his achievement within 2 years in office. This include fencing of several secondary schools, provision of laptops to Plateau State University, Bokos, securing the University of Mines, Mining and Geosciences for Plateau State, and also securing pensionable employment for graduates in federal ministries, departments and agencies.
The fourth legacy project of Mr. President is Akwanga Jos Gombe Road. That was my motion. But we give God the glory that even when you move a motion, you need supporters. You know, when you move a motion, the motion has prayers, and the prayers have to be accepted. When the prayers are accepted, the conclusion of the motion is forwarded to the relevant executive arm of government for the implementation. Our own succeeded. I must thank my governor, because when we were moving the motion, I approached my governor to find a way of, and he came, we went to the Ministry of Works.
On security, Plang pointed out that currently he is fencing the divisional police station in Gindri, Mungu, building a police outpost at Kantana Kanam, as well as provision of solar light in strategic places to enhance security.
I also have a bill for the establishment of Federal Medical Center Kanki that has undergone all the senatorial and House of Reps legislative process, awaiting confirmation. I also have a bill for the establishment of an National Eye Center in Pushit. Pushit and Mangu has the school for the blind. And I think that if we will be able to have that one, and apart from the fact that most people are wearing glasses, I also have a bill for the establishment of an artificial intelligence and innovation center in Jos that has undergone first readings. It's the first bill that I brought. People are copying it. Every state now. My colleagues are now providing that bill.
On empowerment, Ticket Plang noted that he has distributed farming tools, water pumping machines and empowerment packages to his constituents. Other notable projects mentioned by Senator Ticket Plang include construction of exam halls, classrooms and clinics in various communities. Plang emphasized his commitment to serving his constituents, citing his effort to address security concerns and promote economic growth.
And Plateau Radio Television Corporation has held its 2026 first staff general meeting and set to set the tone for the months ahead. The meeting also focused on professionalism, improved content delivery, and renewed commitment to public service broadcasting. Our correspondent was at the PRTVC headquarters venue of the event and tells us more.
The management and staff of the Plateau Radio Television Corporation converged on the corporation's headquarters for the 2026 meeting aimed at evaluating performance and charting a strategic way forward. The general manager of the corporation, Rita Kachulumpam, emphasized the importance of dedication, innovation and teamwork in repositioning the organization as a credible and people-oriented broadcast station. She noted that collective effort remains key to achieving the corporation's mandate.
Some of you must have made some your own sacrifices to see that PRTV stayed afloat. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I deeply appreciate the sacrifices you made for PRTV to be on air, for things to work in PRTV.
Director of Engineering of the organization, Yakuba Sean, stressed punctuality, professionalism and responsibility in discharging duties.
So for us that are here at this time, Let's not break that jinx. Let's hold it with high esteem.
A minute's silence was observed for the repose of the souls of relatives and staff of the organization for the day that has passed. There was observations, suggestions, advice, and comments during the session. Some staff, Amos Labang and Afodia Abagza, described the meeting as timely and motivating.
To God be the glory. It was quite very, very incisive, and we had a nice time together.
It came timely, and we are grateful because our management are up to the task.
The beginning of the year meeting is expected to strengthen collaboration between management and staff as the organization continues to deliver quality broadcasting in line with its public service mandate. Fidelis Zhang.
And talking from the academia, management of the Plateau State Polytechnic says employment in its workforce was strictly based on institutional needs and established public service guidelines. And this comes as protesters who were casual staff of the Polytechnic raised some concerns regarding what they described as unfair treatment by management regarding the absorption into the institution's permanent workforce, having served as ad hoc staff. A statement by the Registrar of the State Polytechnic, Evelyn Ayuba, says Governor Caleb Mutfwang, in his commitment to fairness, approved adequate compensation for the ad hoc staff who spent 5 years and above and were not absorbed for lack of space or over age, as the case may be. It says there has been no verifiable case of omission or exclusion by any beneficiary of the approved compensation that has been reported to the Polytechnic, which is always ready to address all complaints and engage in constructive dialogue with any group on the matter, while appreciating Governor Mutfwang for his tireless efforts in repositioning education on the plateau. Management of the Polytechnic says it remains committed to maintaining industrial peace and harmony, academic stability, and continuous advancement of the institution. Staff of the Plateau State Ministry of Livestock Development and Fisheries have been tasked to adhere strictly to administrative procedures in line with the policy direction of the Time Is Now administration. Commissioner in charge of the ministry, Sunday Akpa, threw the challenge at a one-day refresher training for staff. Our correspondent tells us more.
Declaring the event open, State Commissioner of Livestock Development and Fisheries, Sunday Akpa, said on assumption of office, he identified some gaps in administrative procedures, hence the in-house training to build the capacity of staff for effective service delivery.
The importance of keeping our records, the importance of communicating properly, the importance also of reporting. Because every aspect of work must be documented. We need to keep good records for all that we are doing. Because lack of maintaining records is part of the reason we are underdeveloped as a country.
Facilitator of the training, Anlami Gufwen, urged the staff to be diligent and committed in carrying out their daily activities. The ministry's Director of Administration applauded the present administration for prioritizing capacity building of staff.
Really lucky because this training is not the first time we're having this training. Since the establishment of this new Ministry of Livestock Development, Veterinary Services and Fisheries by His Excellency Barrister Caleb Manasseh Mutfwang, of which we know that in this administration, capacity building is very key.
Some participants described the training as apt and promised to apply it in their offices. I am Gokop Timothy.
And as part of objectives to tackle water challenges within the Jos Metropolis, management of the Jos Water Services Corporation has paid a visit to the Metropolitan Crescent Phase 2 to dialogue on ways to make life better for residents within the area. Our correspondent reports that management also made a supervisory visit to the Jos Wildlife Park Reservoir. The report.
Taking a tour through the community to evaluate its terrain, the management of the Jos Water Services Corporation and the people of the community interfaced on ways to surmount water challenges in the area. The managing director, Jos Water Services Corporation, Apollos Samchi, explained that the corporation would work to ensure it minimizes the water challenges in the area.
We have some options that we can always explore. In the immediate, I think what we're going to do is to establish a water kiosk here so that it will reduce the suffering. The water kiosk comprises of at least 10,000 liters of water storage.
Ward Head, Metropolitan Crescent Phase 2, Bulus Mancha, appreciated the corporation for the visit and expressed hope that the water challenges in the community would be brought to an end.
We're pleading with the state Just Water Service Corporation to help us to bring water here because we're suffering a lot.
Also speaking, women leader in the community, Esther Danjuma, explained that an intervention would alleviate a lot of suffering in the community. A separate visit to the Wildlife Park Reservoir showed ongoing work to revive the tank which collapsed about a month ago. Managing Director, Just Water Services Corporation, Apollo Samchi, stated that the visit was to ensure the tank is restored to standard.
We know this is dry season and it's a peak of very high water demand. So we are here today to inspect the continuation of the rehabilitation and to determine when the rehabilitation is going to be completed.
A worker with the China Geoengineering Corporation Nigeria, the company handling the project, Ruben Jerry, stated that the rehabilitation of the reservoir would soon be completed to ensure stable water supply for neighboring communities. In Jos, Nisi Alan.
Good communication has been described as the foundation of peaceful relationships and effective conflict resolution. Program Officer, African Initiative for Peace Building, Advocacy and Advancement, AfriPeace Rahab Yachat, stated this during a two-day training on effective communication, conflict resolution and peace building techniques. Our correspondent was at the Pastoral Center in Jos, venue of the event.
The training is designed to strengthen social cohesion and community resilience, reduce levels of violence and conflict, as well as enhance capacity for local dispute resolution mechanisms. The participants cut across traditional rulers, community leaders, religious leaders, youth and women groups, civil society organizations, state and non-state actors. Delivering a paper on the topic, Effective Communication Skills, Program Officer, AfriPeace, Rahab Yachat, said peace cannot be achieved without effective communication. She highlighted obstacles to effective communication to include language barrier, emotions, cultural norms, and hierarchy or authority.
So the idea is to help them build skills in communication that will help them as they carry out this mediation and activities within their communities. They are able to make impact.
Another paper on understanding and analyzing conflict was delivered by the Monitoring and Evaluation Officer, AfriPeace, David Busabuji, Executive Director, AfriPeace, Professor Chris Kwaja, who commended the Ata 10 of Ganauri for his effort in promoting peace in his community, acknowledged that a peaceful society can only be achieved through investment in peace. The Ata 10 of Ganauri, Yakubu Chaimang, urged citizens to always settle their differences to avoid escalating into worse scenario.
Participants, they let them learn a great deal from what we are doing here, because there are some of the things that we have not seen before, not heard before, but we will also listen and get something out of it. We'll get it back to our communities, and by the grace of God, we are going to get something new.
Mohammed Musa and Chungwul Mangadi are participants at the event who expressed optimism that the knowledge acquired during the training would help them to promote peaceful coexistence in their communities. I am Bol Chitpam.
President Donald Trump has said the United States will take very strong action against Iran if it executes protesters. As rights groups say, more than 2,400 anti-government demonstrators have been killed in a violent crackdown by Iranian authorities. And relatives of the 26-year-old Efan Soltani, who was detained last week, have told BBC Persian that he is due to be executed on Wednesday. A representative from the Hengao Organization for Human Rights also told the BBC that they had never witnessed a case move so quickly. And speaking to the BBC's United States partner, CBS News, Trump said of potential executions, if they hang them, you're going to see some things. And we will take very strong action if they do such things. And Soltani's relative told BBC Persian that an Iranian court had issued a death sentence in an extremely rapid process within just 2 days. And Iwar Sheikhi, a representative of Hengel, said that the case demonstrated that the Iranian government is using every tactic they know to suppress people and spread fear. An Iranian official told Reuters that 2,000 people had been killed, but that terrorists were to blame. And Trump earlier said he planned to attend a meeting at the White House on Tuesday night to discuss the situation in Iran, pledging to get accurate numbers on the death toll from the protests. The United States-based human rights activist news agency said that it had so far confirmed the killing of 2,403 protesters as well as 12 children despite an internet blackout. And nearly 150 people affiliated with the government have also been killed, the group said. And to sports, Nigeria and Morocco seek historical landmarks heading into Wednesday's semi-final clash in the ongoing African Cup of Nations. And while the Super Eagles seek a chance to stake a claim for a fourth AFCON title, the Atlas Lions of Morocco keep a date with history after 50 years of tasting AFCON victory. Our correspondent tells us, who has been monitoring the competition currently underway in Morocco, delivers a preview of the Mammoth clash that takes place tonight.
Both teams remain undefeated in the 35th African Cup of Nations, but the Super Eagles can boast of maximum points since the group stages, while Morocco were held just once against a resilient Mali side in Group A. Wednesday, January 14th semi-final clash will mark a first meeting between the pair in 22 years now, and the 12th in all counts, while facing off only for the second time in the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations. The North Africans have enjoyed 6 wins in 11 games against Nigeria's 3 and pulling 2 draws amidst, while the face-off promises a battle pitting attacking ingenuity against pragmatic approach by virtue of the Super Eagles' staggering goal turnover of 14, 5 goals more than Morocco's 9 thus far. The fact the North Africans have only conceded 1 so far against the Super Eagles' 4 throws permutations into the wires owing to the Super Eagles' renewed defensive sense in the last 2 games, as well as Morocco's respected attacking stalwarts, though not as lethal as Nigeria's combination. Super Eagles coach Eric Shell and man of the match versus Algeria Victor Osimhen speak.
For me, it's not about the goals, it's not about the assists, it's just about to win something with the squad, and I think we are on the right path.
They deserve this victory, but this is only one game, so if we want to stay ambitious, we have to work again, because we have a big game in few days, so we continue to work.
If the Nigeria Super Eagles make it through to the finals of the African Cup of Nations, they will seek Africa's elite football's most coveted title in a second successive attempt. And for Morocco, it will be the first shot at the title since 1976, exactly 50 years ago. For Sports Roundup, Yaksat Maklek.
And that wraps it up for us, a news track reaching you live from RFI studio. You can stay tuned for global news that comes up by 6:30 p.m. and by 10 p.m. news update reaches yet again. Stay tuned with other programs that comes up. Thanks for joining and bye for now.